Join me as I explore the surprising ways China's taking over Latin America, and I'll be breaking down some jaw-dropping facts you won't believe. China's growing influence in Latin America is one of the most significant geopolitical developments of our time, and yet it seems to be flying under the radar of many international observers. But not today. In this video, we're going to explore the reasons behind China's increasing presence in the region, the benefits and drawbacks of this trend, and what it means for the future of both China and Latin America. As we explore this complex issue, it's essential to understand that Latin America is not just a region of growing economic importance. It's also a region of vast natural resources, including oil, copper, and iron ore. China's insatiable hunger for these resources has led it to look beyond its borders for new sources of supply, and Latin America has become an increasingly attractive option. In the next few minutes, we'll be examining the various ways in which China is expanding its footprint in Latin America, from trade agreements to infrastructure projects, and from political partnerships to strategic investments. So, let's get started. Latin American countries have long struggled with economic instability, inadequate infrastructure, and a lack of foreign investment. For decades, they looked to the United States and Europe for support, but in recent years, they've turned to China as a new partner of choice, and it's easy to see why. China's deep pockets, its experience in building infrastructure, and its willingness to invest in projects that others might deem too risky have made it an attractive alternative to traditional sources of investment. With economies struggling to grow and infrastructure in desperate need of upgrading, many Latin American countries saw China as a lifeline, and China was more than happy to oblige. Through its Belt and Road Initiative, China has committed billions of dollars to infrastructure projects across Latin America, from roads and bridges to ports and railways. But China's influence extends far beyond just infrastructure. The country has become a major trade partner for many Latin American nations, investing in industries such as mining, agriculture, and manufacturing. In some cases, China has even become the largest trade partner, surpassing the United States and Europe. One of the most significant developments in recent years has been the growth of Chinese investment in Latin America's energy sector. China has invested heavily in oil fields, refineries, and pipelines, giving it a significant stake in the region's energy infrastructure. But China's investments haven't been limited to just the private sector. The country has also been actively courting Latin American governments, offering them loans, grants, and technical assistance. In some cases, China has even provided Latin American countries with military aid, further cementing its influence in the region. As China's influence grows, so too does its cultural and diplomatic presence. Confucius institutes have sprung up across Latin America, promoting Chinese language and culture. Chinese universities are partnering with their Latin American counterparts to offer scholarships and exchange programs. China's increasing presence in Latin America has also led to a growing diplomatic rivalry with the United States. The United States has long considered Latin America to be its backyard, and China's encroachment has led to tensions between the two powers. But what does all of this mean for Latin America? On the one hand, China's investments have brought much-needed capital and expertise to the region, helping to spur economic growth and development. On the other hand, there are concerns about the environmental and social impact of Chinese projects, as well as the potential for China to exert undue influence over Latin American governments. Take, for example, the case of Ecuador. In 2008, Ecuador defaulted on its foreign debt, and China stepped in to provide financing for the country's oil sector. Today, China owns nearly half of Ecuador's oil production, giving it significant leverage over the country's economy. In Peru, China has invested heavily in the mining sector, with Chinese companies operating some of the country's largest copper and iron ore mines. But these projects have also led to environmental protests and allegations of human rights abuses. In Venezuela, China has provided billions of dollars in loans to the Maduro regime, helping to prop up a government that has been widely criticized for its human rights abuses and economic mismanagement. As we can see, China's growing influence in Latin America is a complex and multifaceted issue, with both positive and negative effects. While China's investments have brought much-needed growth and development, they've also raised concerns about the environmental and social impact of these projects. In conclusion, China's growing influence in Latin America is a trend that's unlikely to slow down anytime soon. As the region continues to struggle with economic instability and infrastructure needs, China is likely to remain a major player in the region. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below about China's role in Latin America. And if you want to learn more about this topic, be sure to check out my other video on China's Belt and Road Initiative.